Easy. Finding the diameter. That's today's title. The learning objective is written on the screen. And today, guys, for probably the first time in a long time, I've got a little do now. There you go. So don't just write the title and learning objective and underline them in purple pen whilst also adding the date. Also have a go at the do now. So pause your video, and when you're ready for me to go through it, press play. Okay, so the do now says the circumference of a circle is 8.69 centimeters. So just to remind you from last lesson, circumference is the distance around a circle. How do we find it? Pi times d, where d is the diameter, which is a straight line going from one side to the other through the center, and pi is an incredible number that the ancient Greeks came up with that links the diameter to the circumference of any circle, no matter its size. It's a little review of last lesson. So how do we go about answering this particular question? Well, I'm hoping some of you will have read the learning objective. So read the learning objective to yourself. If you need to pause the video so you've got time to do that, then go for it. And so the way we answer these questions, when we are given the circumference, we're given the circumference here, is step one, write the formula. Circumference is distance around a circle. How do you find it? Pi times d. Step two, substitute. And what we're going to substitute is the thing that we're given. And we're given 8.69 for the circumference, so I'm going to change c for 8.69. And step three, I'm going to solve to find the diameter. So here I have an equation. Now if I had the equation 4 equal to 2x, what would I do to solve it? Hopefully you're clear. You would divide by 2 to eliminate the times by 2 here. Do it to one side, do it to the other to keep the balance, and we get 2 equal to x. Well, it's exactly the same thing here. In place of 4, however, we've got 8.69. In place of 2, we have pi. Remember, pi is just a number. And in place of x, we've got the diameter, the thing that we're trying to find. So all that I do to eliminate the thing that I don't want so that I can find the diameter is I eliminate the times pi by dividing by pi. Do it to one side, do it to the other to keep the balance. And so I type into my calculator 8.69 divided by pi. And my answer is 2.766. Zoom out a little bit. Isn't that nicer? And I'm rounding my answer to 2 decimal places, which means it's 2.77 centimeters to 2 decimal places. And that's our strategy for today's lesson. And that's what today's lesson is all about. We're given the circumference, our strategy, and we have to find the diameter. Our strategy is 1, write the formula. 2, substitute. 3, solve to find the diameter. So make any notes that you need to. If you're making particularly good notes, you'll have probably written out onto the learning objective in purple pen and then written strategy near it, like I have. And when you've done all that, then press play when you're ready to move on to the next example. Here we have it. So this is example 2, if we call the do now the first example. I don't see why we wouldn't. So pause the video and have a go at this using the strategy that we talked about already. Press play when you're ready to check if you were correct. So again, this is a question where I am given the circumference. Circumference of a circle is 20.9 millimeters. So to be clear, the distance around the circle is 20.9 millimeters. And I have to find the length of the radius. That's not the diameter. However, our strategy is we're still going to find the diameter. So step 1, write out the formula. C equals pi times diameter. Step 2, substitute. So in place of C, I'm going to write 20.9. Substitution, replace with brackets. Step 3, solve for D. And so I'm going to divide by pi, do it to one side, do it to the other to keep the balance. And I get 20.9 divided by pi is 6.65 to 1 decimal place, to 2 decimal places. Why do you think I have gone and found the diameter when I'm being asked to find the radius? Question's asking to find the radius, it's asking for this thing over here. Why have I gone and found the diameter anyway? Well, hopefully you remember how the radius and the diameter are related. The diameter is all the way across through the center. Should really go through that central point. The radius is halfway across. So if we know the diameter is 6.65, the radius is going to be 6.65 divided by 2, because the radius is half the diameter. So I do 6.65 divided by 2 in my calculator, and I get 3.3 millimeters to 1 decimal place, which is what the question is asking me for. So our strategy is still to find the diameter using, write out the formula, substitute, solve, and then if we need to find the radius from there, we know what to do because we know how the radius and the diameter are connected to each other. So pause the video and make any notes that you need to, and press play when you're ready to keep going. There it is. All right, this is actually the final example. EG3. The circumference of a circle in terms of pi is 12 pi meters. Find the length of the diameter. So I want you to pause the video, have a go at this one, and press play when you're ready for me to go through it. So I know the distance around that circle is 12 pi meters. And I'm being asked this time to find the diameter. Well, it's one of those situations where I'm given the circumference. And when I'm given the circumference, step 1, write out the formula. Step 2, substitute, and in place of C I've got 12 pi. And step 3, solve to find D. Now this is actually super easy because I divide both sides by pi to eliminate this pi here. And what also happens on the other side is the pi's cancel out. Because 12 pi divided by pi is just 12. For the same reason as pi d divided by pi is just d. And that's my answer. It's done. The length of the diameter is just 12 meters. It is as easy as it seems. Key message from the video, guys. When given the circumference, step 1, write the formula. Step 2, substitute. Step 3, solve to find the diameter. And that's it. Good luck on the Haggerty task.